good looking. Join me for this quick body weight only routine to strengthen the outer hip muscles. So listen, if you have low back pain, if you have hip issues, if you have knee issues, it may be due to the fact that your outer hip muscles are weak. Now this is also a great warm-up series to activate the hips before a workout. So get your runners on, let's go get busy. Hello there, hey, welcome. I'm PJ from fitnesswithpj.com, and hey, I help women over the age of 40 reclaim the tush of their 20s, or in this case, the glute med of your 20s. So if you're over 40, if you're a woman, hey, click that subscribe button. I would love to keep working with you. Now let's start right away. As we are getting into this, I'll explain why we should be doing this, how often you should be doing this, and how this will benefit you. You ready? Awesome. Start standing, feet hip width apart, and then I want you to press your bum back and sink yourself down into a quarter squat. We're starting with a glute med stabilization exercise. So mirror me. I want you to pick up your left leg and just tap your toe out a little bit. All of your weight is on this leg here. There goes Bella. Bye, Bella. Anyways, from this position, do not allow this leg that's on the ground to wobble. We want to keep the hip, knee, and toe pointed straight ahead while we travel this one side to side, okay? I've got 50 seconds on the clock. Now we've sunk ourselves into a quarter squat, so there's no doubt you're gonna feel your quad working, but it's this hip here, the outside of your hip, or your gluteus medius, or glute med, as you hear it commonly referred to, fired up to stabilize the hips, which is what we need this muscle to do. Now this muscle is weak in a lot of people, and as I mentioned in the intro, can cause everything from low back, hip, to even knee problems. So it's super important that we keep this strong so you can keep training without pain. And then this series will also help activate your hips if you're doing a leg workout, for instance, to get more out of your leg workout. Good. You feel that? Oh, I feel it. You just tell that leg, we just got one set. Again, we don't want any wobbling happening in this leg time. All right, lift up, so we've got the other leg. So sink into that quarter squat, okay? Now you want to stay strong in this leg. Hip, knee, toe straight ahead. Tap out, good, and tap in and out. Try to put the least amount of weight as you can on this leg. Now, to make this more challenging, you can add a booty band just above the knee as well. So once again, stabilization. So we don't want this hip to hitch out. We want to keep it strong and stable. This is also a great series to do just before a run as well. If you're a runner, it's going to warm up the hips and the IT band. Good. Push the bum back. We have that neutral spine. Good job. 50 seconds, and then we head down onto our sides. Whew, getting tired, huh? You'll find as we do these too that you may have one side of the hip stronger than the other. All right, I want you to head down so that you're lying on your right side. Okay, our top leg, I'm bringing the timer down. Our top leg, the left leg, is the one that's working. Now, lie right down onto the bicep. Bottom leg I don't care too much about. Push the top hip forward. Yes? Perfect. All right. Now draw the knee in, and then we're pressing back. Let's practice one. Draw the knee in, so inside knee touches the mat in front of you. Now press the leg back behind the body, past the midline, still keeping that hip rolled forward. Lead with the heel, lift the leg up, lower down, and bring the knee in. Okay? Ready? Here we go. Press back, rearward. Past the midline, lead with the heel. Lift as high as you can, keeping the hip rolled forward. We don't want to roll back, otherwise our glute med will kick out. All right? I have you in a position to best hit your gluteus medius, so I want you to be really strict with yourself and make sure you stay in that position. When the timer goes, we get a little mini break, and then we're going to hold the leg up for an iso hold. So press back, lead with the heel, lift, drive in. You're going to feel the outer hip pretty quickly. Now these movements can be done before a workout, after a workout, time. All right, and they can be done daily as well. Okay, now keep the hip rolled forward, straighten this top leg, press it behind the body, lead with the heel, lift and hold, iso hold. If you want, you can bring that hand in front of your body to help balance yourself. So yeah, like I said, you could do these on a daily basis too. But at the very least, if you do want to see improvement in glute med strength, I recommend 2 to 3 times a week. Woo, you feel that? Oh yeah. Push this hip forward. Again, make sure that heel is driven back behind the body and then your heel is lifting up. You don't turn your toe up to your ceiling. Once again, that's going to kick out your glute med, so time. Come on to the bottom elbow. Elbow underneath the shoulder. Lift the hips up for me. Keep the feet together and lift the top leg up for a clam. Now, if being in side plank isn't available due to shoulder issues, come on down back onto the forearm and do the same movement. So that's the series. Timer goes, we'll flip around and do the other side. Now I have my hand on my hip, you probably noticed that, because I don't want to round back. So I find if I place my hand there, it reminds me to keep the hips stacked. We want to keep the feet together as well. Great job. Now you're going to feel the bottom hip as well. We also get some core and the bottom shoulder if you're up here on plank with me. Time. Okay, let's roll to the other side. We start with the knee in, hip forward. All right, now press the leg back behind the body, lead with the heel, lift up, bring the knee back in. Once again, pay attention to that form. These subtle little tweaks, as I said, hip rolled in, leg pressed behind the midline of the body, leading with the heel, will dramatically change the movement. And I want you to see results with all of my workouts. So let's take a look at where that leg is. Make sure that heel is being turned up to your ceiling. Whew. Now this side already worked a little bit, bracing as we were lying on the side. So this side could fatigue a little faster, or it could also be due to muscle imbalance. You might have time. All right, so iso hold. So press the leg back, hip is still rolled forward, leading with that heel, lift up as high as you can and hold there. This iso hold really does bite the side of the hip. So breathe with it. If you need to drop it, just do it for a split second and then get back up again. But focus on the breath. Don't focus on the burning sensation in the hip or how hard it is. Just focus on the breath. Remind yourself it's one set. And before we know it, that timer will go. And hopefully soon, and we're done. Side plank is coming up next. Time. There we go. All right, so bring the knees in. If you're staying down here, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, join me, elbow under shoulder, lift the hip up, keep the feet together, and lift that top knee up. If you're in the side plank with me, be aware that we're not dropping into this bottom shoulder, and really aim to get that bottom hip off your mat as high as you can. Now your hips should be getting pretty toasty by now. And now lucky for us, we just have one more drill to do, and then you can continue on with your day. Top hip is rolled forward a bit. Time. Okay, standing, find yourself a piece of wall in which you can place the inside leg and the inside arm up against it. Now the inside arm is simply extended shoulder height for some balance and stability. From here, and I want everything close together, meaning the feet close together, my hip that is on the wall is touching the wall, and then bring that inside leg up so that it's at 90 degrees. From this position, now you keep holding that, okay? I'm just gonna show you here because it's hard to move the camera here. What I'm gonna do is pretend this is the wall, is I'm going to drop the hip out, so my hip here will not be touching the wall anymore, and then I'm gonna push the hip and draw it in, so now it'll be touching. So it's a hip hitch like that. And it's the outside leg we're working for hip stabilization. So let's give it a try. Ready? Here we go. Drop the hip out. So my hip and my leg are no longer touching my wall. Now I push the hip in and hitch it up a little higher, and everything pushes against the wall again. Drop, up. This one is kind of practice makes perfect. Good, keep going, keep going. Again, I'm gonna come to you so you can see me. So again, this is my wall, okay? And I'll lift my shirt up so you can see me. I'm hitching the hip out and then in. Out and then in. My eyes are crap, so I have no idea. I can't see in my camera if you can really tell what I'm doing. I hope you can. Otherwise, I'm standing here like an idiot, showing you something that you really don't know what I'm doing. Time. Okay, let's do the other side. If you're new to my channel, this is how I roll. I tell it the way it is, even if it means mocking me. All right, knee up, 90 degree. Now, everything's touching your wall. Now everything pushes away a wall. Good. Your foot may hit the wall and stay there, that's fine. But we're hip hitching. And I find this side doesn't move as fluidly as my other side. So I really got to think about it. So if you've got that happening to you as well, I think that's normal. Your leg you're standing on, keep that straight. When I teach this to people, I sometimes see them start to almost go into a bit of a knee bend pattern as the hip moves away from the wall. But again, we're working stabilization like our first exercise with this one. Time. All right, you did it. Thanks so much for joining me. Now you are ready to either go do your workout, go do your run, or continue on with your day. Or if you're looking for something a little bit more, I'm gonna connect in the last 15 seconds of this video, so any second now, you'll see a tile run across, in which it's a really great low back and hip stretch series that I did up a while ago that's quite popular on the channel, so give that a try. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this, a thumbs up would be highly appreciated. Hey, have yourself a great rest of your day. Mwah.